Your tickets today at thecognizantclassic.com.
The last throw of Aaron Rodgers' career is likely a touchdown to the Texans. Who could have drawn it up any better?
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. I'm back, baby. This is Theoretically Speaking. So glad to be back with you. My voice a little hoarse as things tend to get a little cloudy out there on the West Coast. Not a lot of sleep, a lot of traveling, back and forth. Shout out ESPN LA for hosting us on Friday. Shout out Glendale for being the place in which I was able to witness the Miami Hurricanes punch their ticket to Hard Rock Stadium for the national championship game, big Fiesta Bowl win. And shout out to literally everyone here at ESPN West Palm that's been holding down the fort in my absence, in my stead, including C-Katt, who was on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. It's been a full week since I've been able to say that with you right here in my presence, man. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, I kind of overheard you outside of the control room where I get my work done. I didn't say hi.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? No, if he wants to talk to me, he's going to come to me.
That's true. And I did, right?
Yeah.
I did.
Right? Well, not really. He kind of ran into me while you were trying to choose what secret meat to eat at the South Florida Fair.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of bumped into each other serendipitously, but yeah.
Well, I wasn't trying to just want to clarify some things right quick. Wasn't trying to choose which secret meat to eat at the South Florida Fair. I was trying to choose which delicacy to partake in when we take, theoretically speaking, to the South Florida Fair, and some of the 19 or some odd choices were meat items.
Yeah.
I want to clear that up, clear the air.
Yeah, you went for the most plain Jane option on the board. There is about 25 different special things you could get at the South Florida Fair that you can't get anywhere else, and you essentially got a Qdoba bowl.
Okay. It looked good, though.
You were like the 4-year-old who gets the chicken tenders at the fine dining restaurant. It looks delicious, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
and there are 4-year-olds at the South Florida Fair that are picky eaters, but you're an adult, full-grown male.
So should I have gotten a Captain Crunch stick on a sausage on a stick like you got?
Yes.
Okay.
When in fairgrounds.
Okay.
You can't get the Captain Crunch Korean corn dog anywhere else except for Korea and the South Florida Fair.
I don't know if they have Captain Crunch in Korea. It depends on which Korea we're talking about. So who looks more like a 4-year-old at the South Florida Fair? The guy eating a chicken bowl out of a pineapple, or the guy, hoisting a corn dog on a stick that is coated in Captain Crunch?
Quite clearly you for the discussion I just laid out.
Right.
You're a picky eater. I guess you got to admit that now.
I'm not a picky eater. I'm not a picky eater. It didn't look. You know what? When I get to the South Florida Fairgrounds and I am presented with the aroma of those foods, as well as it's when we're sitting here in the office on a Tuesday and I'm fresh off of a red eye from LA, where I literally touched down in Fort Lauderdale. I had to drive up here and then come straight to the station. I'm running on low fumes and low sleep. And the first thing that gets presented to me is a piece of paper talking about some foods I could eat. I might not pick the most adventurous thing. I played it safe, played it close to the vest. We'll see what happens when we get to the South Florida Fair. Do we have a date for that yet? Or are we not allowed to talk about it?
Oh, I don't know the date yet. No.
Okay. I was told it would be a Thursday. It would be a Thursday. I was told the date, but I don't want to give it away. I don't know if we're doing some grandiose presentation of things, so I don't want to be that guy.
Well, the South Florida Fair opens on Friday. That's what's important for everyone listening and watching right now. You should get your tickets. It's going to be a fun time.
South Florida Fair opening on Friday, southfloridafair.com, and you can go to your local Publix to tap in to get your tickets.
Yeah, it's a little sign over there at the Publix across the street. They had the little nice pirate-themed things. Oh, nice.
It is nice. You can't miss it at the register, and also at a lot of the openings of Publix, as you can see that they are selling South Florida Fairgrounds or South Florida Fair tickets, and it is going to be a ball. It's always a party at the South Florida Fair. It's a great breakup from the monotony of what can be the turning months after the holidays, and in the new year, and it's one last chance to kind of pig out before you then start taking whatever diet you want to do seriously for 2026. Just take my word for it. Speaking of pigging out, man, it was a sloppy sloppy mess last night in the finale of Wild Card Weekend. The Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a game that I watched from a seafood restaurant, literally like a short walk, like a 30-second walk away from the Pacific Ocean. I was in Manhattan Beach with my pops, his girlfriend or his lady friend, my dog Erica, my wife Ashley. We're all sitting there in this seafood restaurant. Ocean crashing against the shore in the background. I could hear it because the doors were open. It was a beautiful scenery, beautiful environment. And I'm looking up on the television screen on ESPN's coverage of it. No broadcast audio, right? Just seeing the plays happen from a distance with no sound. And it just seemed like one of the sloppiest football games I would ever be able to consume. And because I didn't have the actual broadcast feed, how sometimes you're watching the game kind of flippantly, you're like, wait, am I watching a replay? I'm like, oh, is this? He fumbled it again?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud dropped the ball, not one, not two, not three, 5 times the football hit the ground in fumbles, and he lost 2 of them. There were these incredulous throws that turned into interceptions at pivotal moments. There was also the fact that the Texans defense was so constricting that I do believe Stroud could have dropped the ball 5 more times and still wouldn't have scored more than 14 points.
It was a blowout when it was 7-6. That's
Yes.
what it looked like. Like, it was already a blowout when it was a 1-point lead for the Texans.
Did not matter. It did not matter at all. So what I will say is, as much as I am, I picked the Texans to make the Super Bowl. And I did so because of how prolific that defense is. I did so because of my belief in DeMeco Ryans, who came in and took over a team that was abysmal the year before, and he led them into the postseason. He led them to a playoff win, and then he did the same thing the next year, and then he just did the same thing a third year in a row. When I watch a guy like that lead a defense like that, I have to feel more confident in that pick for them to make the Super Bowl. We're going to get to my top 5 takeaways from Wild Card Weekend, but C-Katt, I think something just came down the pipe.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you
I'm
by
nervous. I don't know what this is,
St.
by the way.
Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it
this is
fixed
exciting.
right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Wait a second, C-Katt. Don't tell me yet. This is exciting because not only did I see Colin Russo walk in, open the door, and hand you the breaking news, I see a couple of my group chats lighting up, and I have not read any notifications. I am enthralled. This is like Christmas morning. I haven't unwrapped a gift. I don't know what the hell could be ahead of me. Can I guess?
I'll give you one guess.
Did Mike Tomlin get fired? Aaron Rodgers. Okay, never
They
mind.
wouldn't fire Mike Tomlin. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, after 19 seasons with the Steelers, is stepping down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is it another NFL team he's going to? Is it the broadcast games he's going to? We don't know.
Wow.
But we do know is that next season, the Steelers will not be coached by Mike Tomlin for the first time in 2 decades.
Wow. Great timing. Great timing by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out Mike Tomlin. Shout out the Rooney family for doing this as we open up, theoretically speaking. We were going to get to the grand topic of the day, Rodgers or Tomlin, which is most likely to not be returning next season. Spoiler alert, I was going to pick Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, there's still time. Just because one was correct does not mean the other is incorrect.
Well, I was going to say Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be back and that Tomlin would be back. And
well, you didn't say it yet.
Right, yeah. So Tomlin is out after 19 seasons, the longest tenured head coach in the NFL, the most respected league-wide head coach. And now it's funny that this happens right now because the first thought I have is John Harbaugh got to be pissed off.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh got to be like, what the hell, man?
Exactly. This is Romeo and Juliet. That they made each other. This was perfect. I got the unceremonious firing by a phone call.
Yes.
And you get to walk away on your own terms. What the hell is this?
Not only does Mike Tomlin get to part ways, whereas John Harbaugh gets a phone call firing, Mike Tomlin now probably ascends John Harbaugh as the hottest head coach on the market. So guess what? These big-time, big baller negotiations that Harbaugh's been able to do where he sits back in his chair, kicks his feet up and says, you hit me up and let me know what's good. Maybe I'll get back to you by Friday. I'm taking my time with this one. Guess what happened to that? Them teams are like, well, actually, we're going to have to reschedule because we got a Zoom call with this fella out of Pittsburgh. And I love what you got going on there, John, excuse me. But one of you two had a 2-time, should have been 3-time MVP, a lot of elite level talent that is still in their prime on defense, and Derrick Henry on their football team. The other one had 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, probably still high off some lingering ayahuasca, can't really move. You got DK Metcalf, who, by the way, wasn't even there. And you had a guy in I guess, well, let me think. Who on that defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is ranking? Jalen Ramsey at 30 years old. TJ Watt, I guess. I mean, he hasn't been the same force. You had the better team in the same division, and that dude kept beating you out when it mattered most. Who's the hottest head coach now on the open market? I think it's got to be Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Mike Tomlin. If you were considering John Harbaugh, there's nothing Harbaugh brings to the table that you couldn't say that Mike Tomlin does a better job of.
Yes, managing egos.
Because it's not like Harbaugh he's the special teams coordinator guy. They're both CEOs. Mike Tomlin is the better, he's the better Harbaugh. Like, they're the same type cat. If you were to say, like, let's just say hypothetically there was a Ben Johnson out there. Ben Johnson's an offensive genius. Ben Johnson is a play-calling savant. Ben Johnson is a different archetype than Mike Tomlin. So if we were considering hiring a guy like Ben Johnson, or let's just say Mike McDaniel or whatever, that is an offensive play caller that is two different dudes. If you were considering John Harbaugh yesterday, you are more heavily considering Mike Tomlin today, and this just cut his negotiations in half. I'm sorry about this, John.
I don't know. I feel like there's always a problem in that Steelers locker room, no? I feel like that's not the case in the Ravens locker room. So is it a pro or is it a con?
What?
That there is always off-the-field conflict issues in the Steelers locker room, and they're still able to churn out winning seasons where it's like Tomlin's dealing with that in a positive way, or is it the lack thereof?
What was the conflict in the Steelers locker rooms?
I guess DK Metcalf. He's the guy they required.
He's a head case, and that wasn't in the locker room. That was in the stand.
That's true. That was a couple steps away from the locker room. It should have taken place in the locker room behind closed doors.
Antonio Brown didn't become a problem until he left the Steelers.
Le'Veon Bell was a problem with the Steelers.
And they got rid of him. And that was a Le'Veon Bell negotiating, trying to get a bigger contract thing. And they just said, go, peace be gone, and he was nothing without the Steelers. No disrespect, but he just wasn't. The Steelers have had one of the most clean locker rooms. Even George Pickens, once he started becoming too much of a problem, they just let him go.
I guess so, yeah. I guess it's more of a credit to Mike Tomlin that he's been dealing with these head cases and disposing of them and their value significantly dropping when they're leaving Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool got
much worse. I will also say, for John Harbaugh, if you want to talk about locker room problems, like, he clearly lost the locker room in Baltimore. He clearly lost Lamar Jackson. He clearly
there's reports of people crying when John Harbaugh got fired.
I'm not saying you're still going to – here's the thing. I don't think Harbaugh's a bad coach. I'm not saying this to spite him. I'm saying it does feel like, but based on the stuff that was coming out on Reddit, the reports around the Ravens, as well as when they were asked Lamar Jackson when the season ended, Lamar, who's only played for John Harbaugh in the NFL, when they asked him if he would like John Harbaugh to be back for the next season. Like, Aaron Rodgers was more effusive in his praise for Mike Tomlin after playing for him for one season than Lamar Jackson was for John Harbaugh, who was non-committal at best. Can we hear Aaron? Do we have Aaron Rodgers talking about Mike Tomlin? He was asked after the game last night whether or not he can foresee any changes to the coaching staff based on how stale things were getting in Pittsburgh. Here's Aaron Rodgers.
The Mike Tomlins of the world, Matt LaFleur's of the world. Those are just two that kind of I played for. And when I first got in the league, there wouldn't be conversation about whether those guys were on the hot seat, but the way that the league is covered now and the way that there's snap decisions and validity given to the, the Twitter experts and all the, experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke. And for either of those two guys to be on the hot seat is really apropos of where we're at as a society and a league, because obviously Matt's done a lot of great things in Green Bay and we had a lot of success. Mike T has had more success than damn near anybody in the league, for the last 19, 20 years. And more than that, though, when you have the right guy and the culture is right, you don't think about making a change. But there's a lot of pressure that comes from the outside, and obviously that sways decisions from time to time.
So I'll say two things about that. Number one, he was more effusive in his praise for Mike Tomlin, who he's only played one season for, and for Matt LaFleur, who he no longer owes anything for, than what Lamar Jackson was for the only coach he's ever known in the NFL. That, you telling me he ain't lose that locker room? He lost the quarterback at the very least. And that's not, I'm not putting words in Lamar's mouth. I'm just saying, same situation. Hall of Fame level quarterback, losing a game they expected to win that got them eliminated from their season. Aaron Rodgers responded like that. Lamar Jackson was non-committal.
Yeah, less than an hour after their season ended, dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
I guess, no, Aaron Rodgers came to terms with losing that game by halftime, and Lamar had it ripped out of his hands in the final second on a missed field goal.
Yeah, that's different. That is different.
Lamar also younger. He's gone through less of these dramatic losses than Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
It's different, yes. But
I think that it's okay to say 1A, 1B, depending on what you want for your organization. I also
Harbaugh
think
or
that
Tomlin?
I also think it's not guaranteed that Tomlin wants another NFL job right here, right now, like we have already seen with John Harbaugh starting his interviews this week, not ruling out teams like the Titans.
If Mike Tomlin wants to coach in the NFL, he is a hotter coaching candidate than John Harbaugh. If and only if he does. And I'm not saying that, again, this is not to disparage Harbaugh. I'm just saying that's how big of a deal it is that after 19 seasons, Mike Tomlin is moving on from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's not forget, he decided to part ways with the Steelers. Harbaugh got cut. Mike Tomlin is now putting the Steelers in a situation where they're looking for their fourth head coach since 1969. On the other side, you have a guy who you can say both of them kind of not outstayed their welcome, but they got a bit stale in their positions. One of them wanted to stay. The other one chose to go. That is just undeniably the biggest difference. Now, maybe when more reporting comes out around this C-Katt, you know how these things go. A lot of times you'll see the verbiage of parted ways. I think when the Raiders got rid of Pete Carroll this year, too, it said something like parted ways mutually or whatever, when that was clearly a firing after 1 year. So potentially the Steelers brass did feel like the time was up. We don't know that yet, though. We know exactly how the Ravens situation went down, and they said we're done with Harbaugh.
It's just a playoff win drought that Tomlin is exiting the Steelers with. Harbaugh cannot say the same. Like, they maybe didn't win the big one, and if you consider the big one just being in the AFC Championship game, not being able to do that since the 2012 season, but Tomlin hasn't been able to win a playoff game since 2016.
His biggest flaw, though, has always been marrying the wrong quarterback. Like I don't know, and I wish we could have more information around this, but the Steelers are very secretive, and people around Pittsburgh and the press kind of allow them to be because, it's kind of like Steelers are bust in that area. Also, Tomlin has such a stranglehold and such a CEO-like position over that organization as the head coach that it's hard to even, how much personnel control does Mike Tomlin actually have? I don't know. I can't clearly say. Nobody can clearly say it. Maybe some years down the line we'll find out how these things go. But he clearly stamped the Aaron Rodgers move. Not saying that was right or wrong. Rodgers had something left in the arm. He just couldn't move at all, and that proved to be his demise against that Texans defense as they lose 30-6. We also, for Mike Tomlin, at least from his behalf, since 2016, never got a chance to pick a franchise quarterback in the top 10. His only first-round quarterback was Kenny Pickett in the late 20s. Bad pick. This is why I've been saying the Miami Heat are turning into the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA. It's not to disparage. Elite coach, Eric Spoelstra, Mike Tomlin, great coaches. Get the most out of their team. Squeeze all of the juice out of the orange. Compete at the highest level year over year. Gonna make the playoffs. Never gonna be incompetent. But it's like you're a victim of your own success because you never position yourself to actually get over the threshold that would make you a real contender. I can't judge Mike Tomlin for losing 7 straight playoff games and not winning a postseason game since 2016 when you look at each of those games and say, well, which one of those was he supposed to win? Was he supposed to win last night?
I think at home he had a good chance.
They had no chance of winning last night. C.J. Stroud
Spread's
fumbled
3.5. If they beat the Ravens the week before, they can do the same thing at home.
No, I don't give a damn about that spread. Nope. They had 0 chance to beat the Texans last night. The game probably went as perfectly as it could for the Steelers, and they still lost 30-6. You telling me if a quarterback fumbles it 5 times in one game and throws an interception, you couldn't draw up a better reason for you to be in position to win?
First drive looked good, though. A quick underneath pass, DK Metcalf, first down, move the chains.
He ain't got many tools left in the bag. Aaron Rodgers, as great as he is, he ain't Tom Brady. So as his athleticism deteriorates, he don't have the same level of prep. He don't have the same leadership skills. He don't have the same level of decision-making. All the stuff above the shoulders, as great as Aaron Rodgers is at it, Tom Brady was elite, and we can't expect him to compete like Tom did in his latter years. And then also parade Tom as the GOAT and a one-of-one. There's a reason he's like that. He's the guy that doesn't skip out on OTAs and minicamp. He's the guy that prepares and works in overdrive and is not hiding in caves during the offseason. No disrespect. But if you can't scramble around like that and make plays with your legs like you used to back in the day, you're just more of a shell of what you were. So
to answer your question, which of those games that he's lost in succession in the playoffs should have been wins, it's probably the latest 2. Which was, everyone remembers the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Steelers in Pittsburgh with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, well, that was an elite Jaguars defense. And again, you're saying with Blake Bortles, who was their quarterback? Who was the Steelers quarterback?
It was Ben Roethlisberger, was it not?
48-year-old Ben Roethlisberger against who was the linebackers? That was an elite Jaguars
Miles
defense.
Jack still there, maybe?
Miles Jack, my guy, his name started with a T, I forget. He's from South Florida, or South Georgia, excuse me. Tevin Coleman.
That's the running back.
I forget his name. It was similar to that, though. He was a linebacker at Florida State.
You got to win that game when you have Big Ben.
No.
In 2017, yeah. He wasn't
Ben
that
was
old then.
Yes, he was.
He played in 2020 to also lose another playoff game to the Cleveland Browns. Those are 2 games that the Steelers probably should have won those games at the very least. And then you have losses to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, and then now to the Texans.
No shot in those ones. All right, 2017, the Ben Roethlisberger versus the Jaguars. I guess he was solid that year. He was actually decent that year. That might have been his last decent year. After that, it kind of fell off. So, yeah, maybe that one then. You got to beat Blake Bortles and the Jaguars. They got you one time. The rest of them, though, the other 6.
You got to beat the Cleveland Browns in the postseason at home.
No, you don't. Your quarterback was Duck Hodges.
I think you do. They got blown out in the first half. Do you remember that? Defensively, they got demolished.
Yeah, they were bad. It was a bad team. He shouldn't have been in the playoffs in the first place. If anything, it's his fault. It's similar to Eric Spoelstra. Last year, the Heat got blown out by the Cavs. You know what? They probably shouldn't have been in the postseason. That was not a playoff team, but Spo was so good that he coached them into that. Duck Hodges?
I think that we're seeing a trend in terms of coaching firings or coaches moving on is just because you don't win games you shouldn't win, that's not an excuse for losing those games. I think that good to great head coaches win games that they shouldn't.
That's fine. That's fine.
And to stack it up over a massive span, you got to eventually win the games you're underdogs in the biggest moments like playoff games.
Tell me the ones Harbaugh did that in then. If that's going to be Tomlin's criticism and if that's going to be the reason you would say, I want John Harbaugh over Mike Tomlin, tell me, as a Ravens fan, what games did the Ravens win that they shouldn't have in the playoffs?
You have to turn the clock back 14 years, in which he did do that. I think a lot of those playoff games.
14 years ago?
Yes. I think that the Ravens beat Peyton Manning and the Broncos when they shouldn't have. They beat Tom Brady and the Patriots when they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And damn it, they beat the 49ers when they shouldn't have. Pretty sure they were underdogs in that game.
This is stupid. Are we serious right now?
I'm saying it's not clear-cut. I'm saying it's 1A, 1B between Harbaugh and Tomlin, depending on what you're looking for your organization.
I was a sophomore in college the year you're referencing about John Harbaugh, and his big-time playoff run. Sophomore.
Okay. Are you saying that's a long time ago?
Long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess some people, it was a long time. You don't, I have gray hair.
Saying that he did it just because it's not clicking with Lamar Jackson, which is a quarterback unlike we've ever seen before, does not really lower him as a head coaching candidate for every other team.
I'm not lowering him.
You're lowering him below Mike Tomlin now that
Tomlin
entered the market.
He's below Mike Tomlin. He is. Definitively below Mike Tomlin. And I'm saying this only if you were looking for John Harbaugh, it's like, that's your type too, but better in Mike Tomlin. If that's your type, if you wanted that kind of coach, that's your type. Mike Tomlin is going to, and honestly, there's a world in which, like you said, Mike Tomlin doesn't want to coach next year. Maybe he wants to take a gap year and decide for himself where he wants to set up likely for the entirety of the rest of his career. You don't leave an organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers and then just jump for the first job available. Same for Harbaugh. The Ravens are a good organization. You don't just jump, you leapfrog to the next spot that could be more volatile. You're going to want a sustainable situation where you have more control, a good contract, and likely a solid future, solid foundation.
And we have another big piece of breaking news right now.
Man. The hell is going on today?
Resident ESPN West Palm Steelers fan, some might claim to be out of touch Steelers fan, Espresso Mar-Tina has made her official statement. Quote, by Tomlin, frown emoji.
By Tomlin?
By Tomlin, frown emoji.
Oh,
that's why I say out of touch, because Steelers fans are happy Tomlin's gone.
By Tomlin.
Like, bye, Tomlin.
Oh, sad emoji.
Yes. Unhappy frown emoji from Espresso Mar-Tina.
Okay.
Maybe the most out-of-touch Steelers fan that I know. Because Steelers fans are they're fed up with Mike Tomlin and the results of the past 20 years.
They're sick of Mike Tomlin and the results. Similar to Ravens fans. A lot of Ravens fans were kind of sick of the results that they've been getting in the postseason with John Harbaugh, and it's easier to just blame the head coach.
Yeah.
But for Steelers fans that were fed up with him, I just want to remind you. Grass ain't always greener on the other side. I do think that it was time for a fresh start for both of them. I said this at the end of last year that I think Tomlin and the Steelers should part ways. I also said this year that I didn't think the Ravens would choose Lamar Jackson over John Harbaugh, but I thought that one of them had to go, and I assumed it would be Lamar Jackson. I'm kind of glad that both of these coaches are departing from their franchises and they're going to get a breath of fresh air somewhere else. I'm excited to see where they go and how they're going to rebuild part two of their careers. We've seen it happen in great ways for some, and then we see the Pete Carrolls of the world that try to do it at a little bit too old of an age with no offensive line and Geno Smith, and it ended ugly. I have no clue which way it's going to go, C-Katt, but I'm going to be watching. And also, maybe, just maybe, now that there's a Mike Tomlin and a John Harbaugh out there, Stephen Ross, go fishing. There's two big fish out there. Go fishing. That's all I'm going to say.
Mike Tomlin would make sense in Miami.
Yeah. Harbaugh would too. Either one of them. You want a culture setter in Miami. You want a Dolphin. You want the Dolphins to be led by a guy who can galvanize a group of men, who can set a standard that they have to continually be reaching up towards. You need a hard ass, but also a relatable coach, also likable by the you don't. They skewed too much in the wrong direction when they went Brian Flores to Mike McDaniel, and it's time for them to tighten up. I would love to see Harbaugh or Tomlin to the Miami Dolphins. Which of the two would you like, Dolphins fans? You get your pick of the litter. I'm going to put you in the seat of Stephen Ross. You are the decision maker. John Harbaugh and now Mike Tomlin are both available. Both of them Super Bowl champions. Both of them longtime AFC North coaches, 18 years, 19 years. These guys are well respected. Which one of them would you like to see lead the Dolphins next? Let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number to the Baptist Health Hotline. That's how you join the show, good people. 888-760-3776. And also welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care trusted by the pros. The pros. BaptistHealth.net/ortho. That's the website. Get back to the life and the activities you love and learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. You may be an amateur, but they're going to treat you like a pro at Baptist Health. Website, baptisthealth.net/ortho. Get rid of those pains and aches. Get back to the sports, activities, and hobbies you love. 888-760-3776. That is the Baptist Health hotline. Terry is in West Palm Beach. And on this Tuesday, Terry's pulling up on us. What's up, good people? Terry, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Appreciate you accepting my call. You guys doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate you, Terry, man. Much love. Are you calling, I'm guessing, to react to the Mike Tomlin news? Are you a Dolphins fan?
I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm a Dolphins fan, definitely. If I'm picking and choosing, I'm taking Harbaugh, me personally. C-Katt, you're sounding like a Mike Tomlin apologist. That's what it sounded like.
You said Theo sounds like that.
You know their records are exact. Did you look at their records?
Tomlin and John Harbaugh?
193 and 114. Ain't that crazy? Exact.
That's actually insane that their records are exact, but did you look at their records against each other?
I did look at their records against each other. Tomlin has the edge on that.
Okay. All right. So, look, Terry, you can't make a wrong decision here, but can you at least tell me why you would prefer Harbaugh over Tomlin as a Dolphins fan?
I don't know, really. I just after evaluating those two for the years, I've always been a big Harbaugh fan. And crazy enough, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Mike Tomlin is my frat brother, so I should be pulling him.
Terry,
nobody,
I'm reporting you, Terry. That's it. Get Terry off the phone. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, C-Katt. Terry, you in trouble. Terry, we are clipping that. We are clipping that. We're sending it to national.
Yeah, but I'll take both of them. I'll take either one of them, really. Both are great coaches. Yeah.
Terry, we appreciate your call. You are good people, but I think Tomlin is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. Is he a Kappa? Let me see. Mike Tomlin.
While you look that up, I'll bring in our next caller. We got Joe from Palm Beach Gardens joining us in the conversation. Joe, how did you receive the news that Mike Tomlin? Kappa. Okay, big news.
Big news.
Joe in Palm Beach Gardens, what's up?
Terry, you're done.
So listening to you guys, I think the reason that Harbaugh was better, I challenge anybody with this. Find an offensive player that Mike Tomlin has developed in Pittsburgh. He inherited Roethlisberger. They've been clueless with quarterbacks ever since. At least Harbaugh has shown that players get developed under him, which offensive players do not get developed in Pittsburgh.
Okay, that is actually a fair critique. And what was it? Their name again? I missed it because I was reacting.
Joe in Palm Beach Gardens.
Joe in Palm Beach Gardens. That is a fair critique. Joe, I appreciate you saying this. Now, are you saying that you want Harbaugh because he develops offensive players, or are you just saying he's better than Tomlin because he's done a better job of that?
I think he's better than Tomlin because he's done a better job than that. Now, listen, Tomlin is the ultimate leader of men. He would be an asset to any organization. I'm just not sure. Like, if you have, this is why in my mind, why he's always gone for the veteran quarterbacks, because it's just it's easier for him to maneuver that.
Yeah, you know what, Terry, that's a fair critique. I think that I said Terry, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe, that's a fair critique, and I appreciate the call. What I will say is my biggest issue with Mike Tomlin, and it has been for the longest, is he has chosen the quarterback position incorrectly. Harbaugh is not the one that developed Lamar Jackson.
Harbaugh is the one that saw enough talent to move on from Flacco for Lamar.
Yeah, he made the right decisions. Yeah, he made the. That's what I give him all the credit in the world for that.
Which is important as a head coach. If you're going to have a hand in the front office, like we assume both Tomlin and Harbaugh did, despite Harbaugh having a pair of Hall of Fame general managers.
Yes. And I guess that's the thing. The Ravens they have a big part, played a big part in also winning. I'm not sure how big, as a Ravens fan, was Harbaugh the one pounding the table for Lamar Jackson, or what did that come down from the front office?
It's tough because,
I doubt it was because they still like Joe Flacco.
Yeah, the front office would not do that independently, whether Harbaugh or not. They had both signatures there, in my assumption, of selecting Lamar and it paying dividends.
And here's the thing: I've now been called a Tomlin apologist, which is incredible because I hate the Steelers, so I don't have it. I have no reason to defend Mike Tomlin. What I will say is the biggest critique I've had from him since 2015 or so, he's hitched his wagon to the wrong quarterback. He did the same thing this past offseason, and it's cost him at the biggest stage.
So what would you have preferred the Steelers to do this most recent offseason?
To be honest, I don't have the answers because I don't know what was at their disposal. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have preferred them to trade for Lamar Jackson when he was available. This past offseason, they could have went and drafted Shedeur Sanders with a late draft pick. There were other veteran quarterbacks that made themselves available. I wonder if Tyler Shuck. I wonder if Geno Smith would have been a good option. Jackson Dart is, as much as I don't believe in him, he was solid for the Giants. Definitely a better option. The one time they drafted a quarterback in the first round was Kenny Pickett, and I never thought much of Kenny Pickett. Outside of that one game as a freshman when he beat Miami in a game that killed our ACC championship hopes. So I'll never forgive Kenny for that. That was, that's all whatever. Screw all of that. Tomlin, you messed up at the biggest position in sports, and that has been your biggest demise. Mike is in Wellington. Mike is joining us here as we have breaking news. Mike Tomlin out with the Steelers after 19 season. Mike.
There is no guarantee that this is not Mike Tomlin calling into our show.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
Right. If Mike Tomlin immediately after telling the owner of the Steelers that he's stepping down, he took a private plane here, he might have gotten here in time. Mike, is your last name Tomlin?
Man, I wish it was because I'd be in beautiful Miami, Florida.
I like that. I like that. Hey, so Mike, are you a Dolphins fan?
Look, I had to call on behalf of Dolphins fans. I'm a Bucs fan. I wish I had an opening for one of these two coaches because toilet bowl's got to go. I would say Mike Tomlin in a heartbeat, the leader of men, the guy always has his team in the postseason. He's respected, and he just finds a way to win. Hardball did not develop Lamar. Lamar is just born with that. Lamar is him, okay? But I would take Mike Tomlin in a heartbeat down in Miami, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of a lot of Dolph fans for that. That's just my take, guys.
Mike, I appreciate your call. I appreciate you speaking on behalf of Dolphins fans because I was a little bit incredulous that it was going all Harbaugh. Speaking some sense into this, I do think that it is weird to. Do you think, as a Ravens fan, did John Harbaugh develop Lamar Jackson?
Well, maybe not him as a quarterback in general, but he created the offense that broke records and was
Todd Monken. That was.
I mean, he was a part of it. I'm not going to give all the credit to the coordinators in that situation. The Ravens' offense still is, I'd say, top half of the league in terms of units you would want to have.
All right.
And
all right. Hey. I hear you.
What I'm telling you is, as a Baltimore Ravens fan, if you told me head coaches swap this offseason, I would not be happy with that deal.
Would you? You wouldn't be happy with that deal. Would you feel like you got shorted in that deal? You feel like you had the better coach between the Steelers and Ravens, despite you telling me before the show, the Ravens are better than the Steelers most years. You should beat the Steelers most years, but you somehow, some way end up on the wrong side of that. You still think that had nothing to do with the head coaching.
As of late, the Steelers and Mike Tomlin have had the upper hand on defending Lamar Jackson than the Ravens have had in defending whatever iteration of that crappy Steelers offense they'll put together.
Okay, hold on a second. So
which is not the end-all, be-all of your franchise. The Ravens are better.
You said Harbaugh developed Lamar Jackson. So if the Ravens if the Steelers are finding ways to defend the guy that Harbaugh developed, then who gets the credit?
They're good at that one thing. The Ravens are better at beating the rest of the NFL than they are at beating the Steelers, which is a big portion, right? Beating your rivals matters. We see that in college football rivalries that you can do whatever you want, but if you're not beating your rival year over year over year, that's going to be a notch against you. And it's a notch against John Harbaugh. It's a notch for Mike Tomlin being able to keep that series close despite having a talent deficit. However, in terms of putting together a team that is better against the other teams in the NFL, there's still 30 others. Harbaugh's better at that than Mike Tomlin has been.
I don't know. So maybe he's a better roster builder. We can talk about this until we're blue in the face. What we do know is John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are both available, and we'll see who gets their pick of the litter in the NFL coaching carousel. Myself, I had my pick of the litter when I came to South Florida when it came to air conditioning companies. You see them all throughout South Florida. And I'm not here to disparage any of the others, but I know that there's only one that is simply yes.
Hard to get better than the best.
Come on, dog. EDS, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS ESIsyes.com. That's the website to go to. And the reason why I don't have to disparage other air conditioning companies is because all I have to do is talk up the beauty and the bright side of all of the things that comes with EDS. I'm a Gold Plan member with EDS. That means that I get 2 check-ins every single year, preventative care and repair. I get 15% off of repairs that I need. Most importantly, they hit me up twice a year to make sure that I get those scheduled so I can get them to come in, give me some tips on how to keep my AC unit tip-top shape. If there's any issues, if there's any things that they're flagging, like, oh, you know what, this might be something you might want to change up, they give me the heads up. Kind of like when I found out burning candles often, which is why my wife loves candles, burning candles often means that you also need to change out your air filters in your home more often. Don't look at the label on those air filters and change them based on that if you burn a lot of candles. Those things are going to burn out quicker, and it can hurt your AC unit. If EDS was one of these cut-rate companies, they wouldn't have told me that information. They would have let me keep on breaking my AC unit because I'm burning candles and not changing my air filters out, and they would have kept charging me for it. But no. This is a company that's been in this community for 20 years now, since 2006, serving Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast the right way. But most importantly, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing cares about their customers. Right now, they're offering 0% interest for 60 months to qualified customers. 0% interest financing for 60 months for qualified customers. If you want to know if you're qualified, just go to the website, ESIsyes.com. Get in with the good people. ESIsyes.com. On the other side, we'll continue to take your calls, Tomlin or Harbaugh. Who you taking for the Miami Dolphins? Or if you're a Bucs fan or anybody, who would you want for your organization?
And if you don't want to call in, jump into the YouTube chat. ESPN South Florida, it's firing up. Yeah. We see your comments. We'll talk about your comments. Make sure you subscribe to ESPN South Florida and give us your input.
Give us your input. We'd love to see it. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Culligan man!
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Let's kick off the new year with a home upgrade that's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
Hey, Culligan!
The 2 p.m. hour is presented by the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Teeing off February 25th at PGA National. Get your tickets today at thecognizantclassic.com.
Hey hockey fans, this Saturday night, ESPN West Palm and Yingling are taking over Charlie's in Stewart for the coolest watch party in town. From 6 to 8 p.m., hang out and watch the defending Stanley Cup champions Florida face Washington. Enjoy $3 Yingling and Yingling flight drafts all game long while the ESPN West Palm Street team brings the swag, the energy, and the vibes. It all goes down at Charlie's in Stewart, 400 Southeast Parrott Circle, Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. Presented by Yingling and ESPN West Palm.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost flute. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
As teams fight for their shot to hoist the trophy, make sure the only thing turning up the heat is the action on the field. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in the postseason, not in your living room. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Stay cool through every playoff moment and don't sweat the small stuff.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hi. This is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
This is one of those weird transitional days. This is reminiscent to me of a couple of off seasons ago when we lost Bill Belichick. Not lost him, but lost him as a head coach, and Nick Saban. Not to that level, but it's the level of comfortability, the level of continuity that we've seen in the AFC North for quite some time. We lose John Harbaugh and then Mike Tomlin days after. The AFC North is in shambles. I got a text from our guy Larry in Boynton. He says the only AFC North coach left standing here is the 6-11 Zach Taylor-led Cincinnati. The only coach left standing from this atrocious season out of the AFC North is Zach Taylor, who we entering the season, we're like, that guy's got to go if they don't get it done.
It's very interesting because it's like the secondary domino was Harbaugh getting fired, you think contributed to, in maybe more ways than one, the Dolphins firing Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Whether it was to go out and get Harbaugh or to self-evaluate and say, that's not good enough for Baltimore. How is this good enough for us in the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
The fact that Tomlin wasn't fired and instead he stepped away per the report and per the verbiage of the actual owner, Khan, and the Steelers, makes me second guess whether or not it had anything to do with Tomlin stepping down. The fact that Harbaugh's not there anymore.
See, the fact that Harbaugh's not there anymore, did that have anything to do with it? So you're thinking there's a chance that
if he was fired, it would make sense for that to convince the Steelers to fire Tomlin.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But the fact that it was not on the Steelers' terms, per their words, and it was on Tomlin's terms, makes me kind of take that back. Because why would Harbaugh walking away from the Ravens want Tomlin to walk away from the Steelers? If anything, it would convince him that that division is even more wide open.
Yeah.
Because the unknown of who the Ravens get, odds are, which the Ravens were okay with their slim chance that they're going to get an upgraded head coach, odds are they're going to get a worse head coach.
So here's what I think about with Tomlin. It's just the real reason I feel like he finally made the decision to part ways. He didn't want to leave Pittsburgh, but I do think, especially after last night's 30-6 loss, I do think that especially given the Steelers' lack of ability to bottom out and reset, he didn't want to go through a season like this last one again. He didn't want to go through a season like the last 7 or 8 again, where they are hovering in purgatory and in mediocrity. And if you're Mike Tomlin and you look across the landscape of the AFC right now and you see Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, who's going to get a new head coach and a breath of fresh air. You see even Joe Burrow with the Bengals, who, again, who knows what they'll be, but at the very least they have that position figured out. You see the Browns, who at least have a lot of young talent around an uncertain quarterback position, and that's just your division. Let's go to the AFC at whole. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Drake May, Josh Allen. Who am I leaving out? I'm leaving out a lot of guys. C.J. Stroud, who looks kind of shaky with the Texans, but they've got that elite young defense around him, and then he's on the rookie contract. The AFC is loaded with talent, specifically at the quarterback position. Bo Nix with the Broncos. At least he's young. He's shapeable. He has something. He has more upside than what you've dealt with over the past 7 or 8 years. And then you look at the Steelers' ability to even acquire a quarterback this offseason, and you're like, do I really want to go through this again?
Yeah, but
he finally wisened up. It was stupid. It would have been ridiculous for Tomlin to run it back with the Steelers next year.
But don't you think these had that same thought each of the past, whoever since Big Ben retired?
Yeah, 100%. I think he has, but the issue is he kept trying to Band-Aid it up and patch it up. And it's just like, that's such an important position, and they just kept getting it wrong. And I don't know who to blame for it. We can blame Tomlin for it. It's all his fault. It's all on you. I won't be a Tomlin apologist. I will criticize Mike Tomlin for not getting the quarterback position right. Okay. Were they going to be able to get it right this offseason? No.
Right. I was going to say, I mean, you could just completely mortgage the future and bet on the second best quarterback in this year's draft by just doing the Rams technique of completely blowing up your future draft class in order to get higher in this first round to get Dante Moore.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's like the other option. That's all you got.
And honestly, the issue with that is the way in which the Steelers are currently built. You can't just you can't trade away all your future assets and then trot out an unproven rookie quarterback and think that you have any shot of winning over the next 2 or 3 years. Because all of the dudes all of your best players are long in the tooth. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, DK Metcalf. These guys don't have any future. Name one dude, like one Pittsburgh Steelers who's got his career ahead of him. Barely any of them are still in their prime. This is a bunch of old dudes. It's a retirement home right now.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
It's pretty bad. It's not a place for a rookie quarterback. That's why they went with Rodgers this past offseason. They have to win now. Rodgers was the most win-now quarterback available, except he has no wheels. That's why he got sacked 4 times. Each of Rodgers' last 3 playoff games, he was sacked 5, 4, and 4 times. It's not a recipe for success. He's not mobile.
So this from Schultz, Jordan Schultz, reporting that
you guys on a one-name basis now?
Yeah.
This right here from Schultz.
Yeah, my guy. At least better than Jordan, right? If I just
Jordan would have been worse. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
My friend Jordan reported this. Mike Tomlin, since he was not fired and he's voluntarily leaving the organization, the Steelers retain his rights. So since he'd be in ultra high demand, if he still wants to coach, even after a year off, there is a scenario in which the Pittsburgh Steelers could trade him.
Okay.
Like Sean Payton was traded.
Okay.
So maybe you flip Mike Tomlin into a quarterback.
No. You know what that would be like? That would be like how when Aaron Rodgers left the Packers, they finally drafted a first-round receiver in Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of Tomlin so we can get a quarterback in here.
True.
The one thing he needed.
Right.
They're helping each other, I guess, though.
Is the Steelers a desirable job? It's a secure job, right? Like they flip coaches less frequently than we flip popes.
It's true. I don't know if we flip popes as much as they get flipped. I think it's natural selection more so with the popes. Yes, I think you know what? The Steelers is a good job because it's a good organization. And I think in the NFL specifically, it is more important to be with a good organization than it is to be with a team with a good situation. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Like immediately. Yeah.
That's a bad organization, technically a good situation because they have the quarterback figured out. I would rather be with the Steelers than the Bengals right now. I'd rather be with the Steelers than a lot of teams that might have a better or more bright-looking future because I know that we can retool this thing and all be on one accord, and I won't get fired if 1 or 2 years don't go right. I like the Steelers as a head coaching job vacancy. I hate the Steelers as a franchise, though. You know, I'm anti-Steelers guy. I realized that recently that I have a lot of vitriol. I do not like the Steelers. I like a lot of the people. I like the Roonies. You know, I like a lot of people around them. I like Tomlin. I just don't like the Steelers. Something about their run as I was a child, I was always rooting against them, and it still has stuck with me. I don't like those guys.
Yeah, I dislike them from the point of rival fan base Ravens, but specifically they have hurt wild card weekend every single year
been ugly
since 2021.
Yeah, it's been ugly.
They sneak into the playoffs as a less than team and get pummeled by the Texans, pummeled by the Ravens, pummeled by the Bills, and pummeled by the Chiefs. Like that it sucks. It takes away what could have been a good game in the playoffs, and it's a waste. That's why I have a different version of dislike towards the Pittsburgh Steelers because they just didn't give us good football games when we're to be expected to have good games.
I don't know what I hated them because of I didn't like the teams growing up. I just didn't.
We have a comment in the ESPN South Florida YouTube chat from Dorsey. Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers to Miami. Sign me up. That's like a buddy cop movie. Yeah, compose yourself. Think of your response. We'll let Will Smith play it as you think about it.
You know what's funny? It's not a bad idea. It's just not a bad idea.
For a short term, you have Rodgers for 2026, and then you have Tomlin for going forward.
Because the good thing is, look at how much more bearable Aaron Rodgers was under Tomlin than he was with the Jets and the Packers. If you're anti-Rodgers this year, if you don't like all the things that come with Aaron Rodgers, how much of that did you deal with this year? Mike Tomlin is I think he's the best culture setter in the NFL. That's why if I'm the Dolphins, especially if I'm the Dolphins, I want Mike Tomlin. Get us right. Deal with any distractions. Weed out any people that don't belong, that don't need to be here. That's going to keep us offset. Get us right. Come to Miami Gardens and make Hard Rock Stadium have 2 competent and culture-driven football teams. Not just the Miami Hurricanes, but the Miami Dolphins as well. Look at what Mario Cristobal did with the Canes, right? No nonsense, CEO-type guy. His value was in the trenches. He hired the right guys around the programs. He did not cede to stars who wanted people to, they wanted to have it their way. No. He went and recruited hard around the area. He set a standard and made players reach up to it, and now the Miami Hurricanes are competing for a national championship at their home stadium. You need a new culture. Manny Diaz was cute with the Canes. Mike McDaniel was cute with the Dolphins. Get a guy like Mike Tomlin, even a John Harbaugh. If you can't get Harbaugh, I would love to see Tomlin out there. But again, get a CEO, get a culture setter. It would be best for the Dolphins. But who am I?
And there is the narrative about how you can't win in Miami because of how comfortable it is when you get down to brass tacks and about the actual weather.
Yeah.
You win your division. You don't got to worry about the weather maybe ever. If you control home field and then you go to the Super Bowl.
Bring them here.
Yeah, those negative 25-degree games in Kansas City, you don't got to do that anymore if you are getting the bye and getting home field.
Now, the one issue with the Dolphins situation is, first of all, if the Dolphins have to trade for Tomlin, they're cooked because you're going to lose a lot of value in a team that is already a value pit because of Tua's contract. Secondly, Mike Tomlin's like, okay, great, I get to come to Miami now. Who's my quarterback?
Kind of
the same situation, but it's warmer.
Exactly. He wakes up in a cold sweat, screaming, I'm back.
I don't. So
Get
again,
ready to know Quinn Ewers, buddy. That's just Mason Rudolph with the glasses and mustache disguise.
He'd be right at home with Quinn Ewers. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, like I coached this guy before. So we'll see. We'll take more of y'all's calls on the other side about what Tomlin or Harbaugh to the Dolphins, what would make the most sense. We do have at ESPN South Florida in our YouTube chat, we do have somebody who went to their burner account to make a comment that says, finally, the DEI poster child is gone. The DEI poster child is gone. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Oh, Tomlin. He said Mike Tomlin is a DEI poster child. There we go. Well, this user didn't really put his name behind it. If you want to add to our YouTube chat some more cohesive comments that make sense at ESPN South Florida, maybe you can drown out guys like user PV or whatever to do. It's weird. Don't be a weirdo. You know what you should be? A person with exquisite taste. You know what you should be? A person of elegance, a person who is able to pull up to one of the great events that hits South Florida year after year after year. I'm talking about the Winter Equestrian Festival. It's back, baby, and it's right here in Wellington, Florida. It brings together the best athletes and horses from around the globe for 13 weeks of elite international equestrian competition. General admission is free. It's free during the day from Thursday through Sunday, and you don't want to miss on Saturday Night Lights. It's the high-energy show jumping under the lights, a vibrant atmosphere. It is the perfect way to experience show jumping and equestrian for the first time. It'll also have you coming back time and time again. This Saturday is Family Night. Family Night. It's going to be the $50,000 Palm Beach Equine Clinic Grand Prix, and it is Family Night, so bring out the whole crew. You want to introduce your children to their first show jumping experience. You want to have a relaxed night on the town with the fam. Well, join us at the Wellington International for Family Night, $50,000 Palm Beach Equine Clinic Grand Prix. Doors open at 6. General admission is free. Visit wellingtoninternational.com for more information. Pull up on us. wellingtoninternational.com for more information. General admission is free.
I do think that the Steelers could turn it into a really good job. They're just a good job because of the great organization of which they've built over the past 50 to 60 years, but they can turn to a great job if they liquidate everything.
Yeah, I think so.
If they just completely use this, that might be the wake-up call, right? Like, okay, our historic head coach, been here for 19 years, is walking away. If there is as good a time as ever to trade T.J. Watt, to trade DK Metcalf, even though you just signed him, to trade Hayward, trade everybody who has a market for them, then the time's now.
Yeah, I would. It should be a fire sale. The issue is actually a lot of those guys you're talking about, you just signed them, so you're on the hook for a lot of that salary. You're going to have some cap hits that might hurt you down the line. You got to see if teams are willing to take on that cap. But between TJ Watt, who you just locked in for $40+ million, DK Metcalf, I would even say there's some guys in the trenches on both sides. AJ Highsmith is probably one of the only guys I would say is untouchable. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this sparks a fire sale for the Steelers. I don't know if they're willing to stomach a rebuild, but we do know that they're going to have to stomach a new landscape. Gone are the days of Mike Tomlin after 19 seasons. For the fourth time since 1969, the Steelers are looking for a new head coach, and that is because Tomlin has decided to part ways with that organization. Wow, C-Katt, we got the national championship coming to South Florida on Monday.
Yeah, this is a big week.
Yeah.
This is a massive week.
So, in celebration of this massive week, I want college football fans to get ready because the ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling in the City Place in West Palm Beach before they get down to Miami. So join us on Saturday night, January 17th. This Saturday night, January 17th, from 4 to 8 p.m. for live ESPN radio shows. You can even try and shoot your shot at our Serve Pro Rapid Response Reflex game. It's going to be fun. I'm going to judge you if you end up screwing that thing up. I've seen people in action with it, seen people do excellent. I've seen some people screw it up. You can play the Robin Hood football toss as well and enter some awesome giveaways. You might even get a free Monster Energy drink. No promises. Bring your friends, rep your school, and be part of the action as ESPN Radio takes over downtown West Palm in City Place. So join us for the nonstop college football fun. ESPN Radio's College Football Campus Tour this Saturday, January 16th, 4 to 8 at City Place. Don't miss it. More Theoretically Speaking in the happy hour on the other side. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Many people start trimming trees when they hear a storm is on the way, but that leaves piles of branches on the ground that could become dangerous projectiles during a storm. Instead, having a year-round trimming plan is better for you, your neighbors, and the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. When trimming is done correctly and on schedule, your trees are stronger and more resistant to wind damage. After the storm passes, there's less vegetative debris, helping the SWA clean up your community faster. Learn more at swa.org/storm.
Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Experience the world's premier equestrian event right here in Wellington, Florida. The Winter Equestrian Festival brings together Olympic and world champion riders and horses from all around the globe for 13 weeks of elite international competition and unforgettable moments. Don't miss the iconic Saturday Night Lights, high-energy show jumping, incredible atmosphere, and excitement under the lights. Now through March at Wellington International. Visit wellingtoninternational.com for more information. Wellington International, where champions are made.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Joseph Malloy, tax partner in Anshin's Construction Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also known as the OBBBA, will have a significant impact on tax planning strategies. The bill restores and makes permanent 100% bonus depreciation for all eligible purchases made after January 19, 2025. This tax incentive will influence investments in additional machinery and equipment upgrades, providing an immediate tax deduction and helping contractors increase cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide construction companies through the new tax law to help them develop the right strategy and enhance profitability. If you're a construction executive or owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
As teams battle for a chance at the title, make sure your home is ready for every unforgettable moment. EDS Air Conditioning keeps your comfort championship caliber. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC unit. The heat belongs on the field, not inside your home. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been delivering national championship service since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today and enjoy the run to a national title.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it. as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost loot. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
Safebound Moving and Storage is growing. We're looking for new movers and drivers who lead by example, show up ready, and take pride in their work. If you're dependable, willing to learn, and thrive in a fast-paced environment, you'll fit right in. This isn't just a job, it's a career. Do you have what it takes? If so, visit safeboundmoving.com to apply today. safeboundmoving.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. This is Theoretically Speaking. It's the happy hour. And it is your boy, Theo Dorsey. C-Katt's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. Your boy's back from the West Coast trip. Your boy is back from the West Side, hit Vegas, hit Scottsdale, hit L.A. Now I'm back where I belong here in West Palm Beach with the good people in the Evan Cohen Studios overlooking Roseberry Avenue in downtown West Palm Beach. It feels good. Also, a man who is departing a place where he was at for a long time. It is a little bit longer than I was on the West Coast. Mike Tomlin, after 19 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today we learned he's stepping away, mutually parting ways with the Steelers. 2 years left on his contract. He cannot just go and coach anywhere else without being traded or released from said contract. Mike Tomlin is available, but, you know, a restricted free agent, and he joins the many of coaches in this coaching pool as there's 8-9 now NFL head coaching vacancies available. We had some breaking news today. The AFC North is going to look entirely brand new. The Miami Dolphins have to be like their mouth is watering because even if you don't get Tomlin or Harbaugh, those two coaches entering the market could give you a better shot at option D down the line. Now, C-Katt, I was reminded of something here in the break by our guy, Brian McLevin-Rowitz, director of content, that in 2007, the Dolphins actually had a shot to hire Mike Tomlin. They did. You want to know how they screwed that up?
How?
Apparently, back when Tomlin was the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, apparently there was a Dolphins staffer, and this apparently according to a Miami Herald columnist at the time, Armando Salguero. A Dolphins staffer said Mike Tomlin was too, quote, hip-hop for the Miami Dolphins. A little too hip-hop. So the Dolphins instead went with Cameron, who I guess wasn't hip-hop. You want to know how Cameron fared with the Dolphins?
Do I want to? How?
I don't think you want to. I don't think Dolphins fans want to be reminded of the 1-15 season that ensued. Tomlin went on to win a Super Bowl and do very well with the Steelers, never have a losing record. Yada, 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 yada. But again, the Dolphins had their shot at Mike Tomlin, but he was too, quote-unquote, hip-hop for them. I wonder if he still has an unsavory taste in the way in which the Dolphins handled that situation some 20 years ago, and if that would have impacted his decision at all. I would hope not.
Think about the swan song of this decades-defining Steelers-Ravens rivalry under both Harbaugh and Tomlin. Wow. Think about that. That final game on Sunday Night Football. And if you want to go a stretch further and just talk about the AFC North in general, Stefanski versus Tomlin for the final time in those respective organizations, another instant classic where the Browns kept the Ravens season alive by having that goal line stand as time expired. It was beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Like what a grand climax to and finish to these eras in the AFC North. It's going to look totally different next year.
I love it. I love it and hate it at the same time because everything I've known of the AFC North has been those guys. That one thing about the AFC North, outside of the Cleveland Browns, who actually they have more sustainability at the head coaching position. Like Stefanski was there, 6-7 years? Then they probably get credit for. But those teams have been so well defined by head coaches that at least are in place for a long time. Marvin Lewis, for a long time, was the Cincinnati Bengals with a couple of different quarterbacks. Mike Tomlin, for the entirety of really my, the majority of my football consciousness, right? I got a little bit of not Coughlin. I got a little bit of Bill Cowher, but it was mostly Mike Tomlin for the Steelers for me growing up watching them. Same thing for the Baltimore Ravens. I forgot the other day. I credited Brian Billick's Super Bowl to John Harbaugh the other day. Like I forgot that wasn't Harbaugh back there the first time around, because all I know of the Ravens is mostly John Harbaugh. 18 years, it kind of gets all burned together in my mind. So I will say this about the two of those teams as they start their new futures: the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You are a Baltimore Ravens fan, and I'm sure you liked Harbaugh.
I did like Harbaugh a lot. I will always like John Harbaugh.
Do you have more hope for the future now based on the fact that you guys parted ways with Harbaugh, or are you kind of just like middling, waiting to see what the results are going to be?
Middling. I'm not. I think it's the boring answer depending on the hire.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you get a home run hire? Okay, now I'm excited. I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how to expect. Or, oh, you hired him? Now I'm mad. That's kind of where I'm at with the Baltimore Ravens in their head coaching search. But
Steelers fans got to have a little bit more angst because you have your quarterback. That gives you
a prong of stability.
Yeah.
And you shared me this sound that we saw. The Ravens owner, Steve Bisciotti, was broken the news that Mike Tomlin was walking away from the Steelers. And here is the Ravens, the rival owner, talking about it.
Sorry, Mike. Mike Tomlin stepped down at Pittsburgh. He did? Is it official? That's what I keep hearing. So, is he a candidate here? Holy shit, Mike. Wouldn't that be awesome? Only if John takes the Pittsburgh job. Wow. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, so I don't know if
CK.
that's like tongue-in-cheek, as in he's like writing the story for the AFC North, and that'd be pretty cool, or if he couldn't really he kind of sounded like he knew it was coming. The way he said, is that official?
Yeah.
It wasn't just a rumor that was leaked somewhere, because I think Steve Bisciotti would know more about the stability of the Steelers job and the whereabouts of what exactly happening, more so than you and me, just by proximity and those high-level conversations.
Yeah.
To where I think he truly does want Mike Tomlin, right? Like, I don't think he's just playing, just joking around with the media there. I think that he actually would like to hire him.
He clearly. I mean, here's the thing: most franchises would like to hire Mike Tomlin, just like they would like to hire John Harbaugh. I do wonder. I mean, he has obviously a high level of respect for Tomlin. When you go to battle against a guy like that year after year after year after year in your division twice a year, you're going to have a certain level of either disdain or respect for the guy, and he clearly has respect for Tomlin, unlike what Ben Johnson has for Matt LaFleur.
Right.
There's a level of respect. There's a level of love there. There's a level of I understand that you are a championship level coach, and we can use that here. I don't know if that.
It's been very reciprocal. The Steelers have made the Ravens look good, and the Ravens have made the Steelers look good. It feels like they trade back and forth, and it's just been making up ground and elevating the brand, the awareness, the respect of each organization with an equal share. Literal. We talked about how each coach's record being almost mirrors of one another, records against each other being mirrors of one another. It has been a fantastic rivalry and relationship that has never gotten one-sided.
Here's what I'll say, though. If the swap does happen in a storybook NFL world, if the swap happens, Harbaugh and Tomlin switch places, think the Ravens will be better off for it. Not because I think Mike Tomlin is the better of the two coaches, which I do believe that. The Ravens are just better positioned for success.
Right. I was going to say, I think you don't judge it year 1, 2, or 3. I think you judge it 5 years from now, which is a very impatient way to look at things. But you're exactly right. The Steelers are closer to stripping it all down to its nuts and bolts and then rebuilding and preparing for 2029 and 2030, whereas the Steelers hire whoever they get a head coach will be judged immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You got to win now. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or
Ravens,
buts about it.
the Ravens hire.
Yes, the Ravens. Whoever they hire, you have to win right now. You have to win a playoff game, bare minimum. And even if you do get chopped off by the Bills, Patriots, Texans, or if the Chiefs are back, that's not an excuse as it's just your year 1 as head coach. You're brought in to win playoff games.
The Steelers are going to bring a person in to establish a new way and to help build a new future for the Pittsburgh franchise. The Ravens are in win now mode over the next 7 or 8 years, and that's courtesy of having a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's courtesy of having a 2-time MVP at the most important position in all of sports. So it is a privilege to get either of the two jobs because they're both good organizations. They are two totally different jobs, though.
Yeah.
They're two totally different jobs. So it's going to be – I'm very curious to see which is which. But, again, we learned today that Mike Tomlin stepping away from the Steelers, stepping off of the sidelines, 2 years left on his contract. Who knows what he does in the meantime. And now the head coaching carousel in the NFL gets that much more interesting. We love this sport. This is why we love it, man. We haven't even gotten into the divisional round. And huge news like this comes down here on a Top 5 Tuesday. I didn't even get to my Top 5 Tuesday. We will get to the Baptist Health hotlines. The Dolphins are in search of a quarterback. They have their GM, but they're also now in search of their next head coach. They screwed it up in 2007. Mike Tomlin was too hip-hop for Miami back when he was first available. I wonder if 20 years later, things have changed. Also, I wonder if the Dolphins are looking heavily at Harbaugh and Tomlin. As a Dolphins fan, who would you rather have lead your team into the future? Mike Tomlin, who just stepped away? John Harbaugh, who I guess the Ravens technically fired after 18 and 19 years respectively with their franchises. Let us know on the Baptist Health hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health hotline. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. If an injury is keeping you from what you love, our expert team is here to get you back in the game. This is something that's trusted by the pros. It's ready for you. We know you love playing a little padel, maybe a little beach volleyball. Who doesn't like a little beach volleyball sesh? Maybe you're playing pickleball. The overuse can put a strain on your joints, give you a little back pain, soreness, issues. But everybody deserves pro-level orthopedic care. Everybody deserves Baptist Health orthopedic care. BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Learn more today. BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Welcome to being treated like a pro. C-Katt, man. Dolphins fans are in for a bit of a hoot because I don't know where they go next. I look at their division, and you have two teams still standing in the playoffs, two teams that are going to be standing in your way for the near future in the Bills and the Patriots, who have the quarterback figured out. And at the very least, you know, the Bills might have a coaching change sometime near in the future. Who knows what happens with Sean McDermott. But we do know, similar to the Ravens, that coaching change is not going to set them back. So, like, those are two teams that are fortified ahead of you over the next 3 to 4 years. So this coaching hire this offseason means the world to the Miami Dolphins.
Sure does. I think you're right in calling into question whether or not Sean McDermott will be the head coach of the Bills next year if their season ends in Mile High this weekend. Like, this is going to be the biggest head coaching kind of market and musical chairs that we have seen in quite some time in the NFL. I'm not going to say ever because I can't speak on 1984.
Yeah, that was a big year, by the way.
Yeah. So I don't want to speak out of turn, but I cannot imagine a bigger head coach carousel in the NFL than this offseason.
We're up to 9 openings, right? I believe it was 8 openings in the Ravens, or excuse me, Mike Tomlin stepping away would make it 9.
Right. And it's not just the numbers, because the numbers certainly have been higher. It's the magnitude of these jobs that are coming open And with those seats being vacated, the coaches that are vacating those seats being highly touted.
Do we think that the Miami Dolphins – all right, so there were 8 openings before, and we went to a list to see what ranking the NFL head coaching vacancies, which franchise, in order. Number 1 opening was the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 was the Dolphins, last place, DFL, dead freaking last. Do you think that the Steelers entering the conversations, like, does that do anything, or does the Dolphins just move down?
No, the Dolphins now just got a higher number.
Okay. There it is, Miami Dolphins.
For what you mentioned, right, in terms of the function and the machine that is the Steelers and a fan base that you don't need to energize to root on your team.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have been given nothing but disappointment and reasons to explore the beaches in the fall. And the Steelers have given hope many a times, and they've crushed that hope many a times. But that's kind of it's taken for granted in Pittsburgh, but they've always been relevant, and those fans will be there no matter what.
This is ridiculous right here.
Please share.
I'll share this, and we'll go to break. But college football is getting so weird.
Oh, it's something. Okay.
Yeah,
Is this off
I'm
topic?
sorry. Yeah. This is a little off topic. Sorry about that.
Let's tease it. If it's ridiculous and it's a change of topic, how ridiculous is it? You'll have to find out, right? Or no?
Yeah, you'll have to find out again.
Okay.
This is a college football rule that just came down the pipeline. And it's just like, I'm just like kind of.
How about a double dose of breaking news on Theoretically Speaking? That's
this
making
is
me
silly.
hungry.
Really? This is?
Uh-huh.
Might I offer a solution?
Please.
Do you feel like an MVP today? Do you feel like an MVP? Just curious. Because afterwards, we can go get some Duffys afterwards.
Well, if I don't feel like an MVP, I'll pull out my wallet and then take out a card that proves I am a Duffy's MVP.
DuffysMVP.com. That is the website to go to find the Duffys nearest to you. Why would you want to go there? They've got great food, great vibes, great environment, specifically during any kind of sports season, specifically during the postseason. I mean, we've talked about their football starters all year long. The gridiron nachos, smash burgers, the touchdown tots. That's still going. Football season's still going. And best of all, if you like this past weekend like I did of watching it, you probably loved it at a place like Duffy Sports Grill with all of the different TVs, all the different viewing abilities, watching great games simultaneously, watching it with your pals, 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And it's something about being surrounded by that money green when you step into a Duffy Sports Grill that it raises the environment. It raises your spirits. Win, lose, or draw for your favorite team. Sitting in a Duffy's feeling like an MVP, stuffing your face with food and 2-for-1 drinks. Not just during happy hour. There is no happy hour. Every hour is happy at Duffy's because it's 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. That's the place to be. Don't forget it. DuffysMVP.com. DuffysMVP.com. In fact, we give an update to our Duffy's competition, the Duffy's draft. We drafted. We had callers, fans, call in and draft one of each of the 14 NFL teams in the playoffs, one by one. Draft order was based on, where they called in at. And because Wild Card Weekend is over with, we have a bunch of eliminations to announce. So the winner of this contest gets how many Duffy's MVP dollars?
They get $150 to Duffy's.
Bang. That's a lot of money.
Still got teams alive.
We will give the update to the Duffy's MVP Duffy's draft. $150 on the line. We'll give the update on who's still standing on the other side as well. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. College football's getting a shakeup, so make sure you stay tapped in. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, We want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
I used to talk about the weather as small talk. Now I talk about McValue deal days at McDonald's. A hamburger or cheeseburger for just 69 cents on Sundays and Wednesdays? I'm chit-chatting for days. A 6-piece chicken McNuggets for 99 cents on Mondays? Catch me yapping all day, dude. I'm not even mad about it. You want the deals? You need the app. Get 99-cent McNuggets and 69-cent hamburgers or cheeseburgers only in the app. These deals will definitely give you something to talk about. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Valid Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays in January and February at participating McDonald's. Valid once per day. Must opt into rewards.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Experience AT&T Playoff Playlist live on Miami Beach on Sunday, January 18th, part of the College Football Playoff National Championship. The concert lineup features cultural icon Peso Pluma, soulful trio Latin Mafia, and pop powerhouse Gracie. Admission is free. Visit collegefootballplayoff.com. The events are brought to you in part by Ram Trucks, Shaw Sports Turf, Taco Bell, Ticketmaster, and Verbo.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
If Tyler Loop makes that field goal, is John Harbaugh still here coaching this team?
For a week.
For a week, okay.
How could you be so heartless?
That's the Ravens owner with that answer, by the way.
Steve Biscotti. You said you love the guy. You know his kids well. You're good with the family. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I know it's a Tomlin show. That's the breaking news. But I scrolled past that during the break, and I could not share that with our audience.
That's
that assuming that they lost. They're like just saying like, yeah, we would have lost the Texans anyway.
Yes, because you don't fire a head coach in the middle of a playoff run. Like you can't. I've never seen it happen. I do wonder if Sherrone Moore with Michigan, if they had made the playoffs, does he get fired mid-playoff run due to the allegations and things surrounding his dismissal? I don't know.
Now with that program,
I don't know.
They go hush, hush.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this in February.
We'll figure things out. Hey, shh. You're a Michigan man. That's what we do. Culligan Water. I am a Culligan Water man. You know what I do? I kick off the new year with a home upgrade. That is a win for you and a win for the environment. Get yourself a high-efficiency water softener that helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals, which is better for the environment and maybe even more importantly, depending on who you are, it's better for you and the family. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. They can come and revamp the whole system you got at your house. It'll change the game for you. It's a game changer. If you've been in a house, I know sometimes people will go stay in an Airbnb or something like that and be like, oh, the water hitting different in here. What, oh, man, this is the shower. Just everything. You know what that is? It's likely they have a water softener and you don't. Get Culligan to pull up on you. They can do a free water test, see what other amenities you can use from Culligan to improve the water quality at your home. A water softener will do wonders for you and the family. For more information, visit Culligan.com and schedule your free water test today. Culligan.com. Hey, I'm Steve Biscotti. The body ain't, what is that? Body ain't even cold yet?
Yeah.
Harbaugh he's very, I like how honest he is. Is he always like that? I don't hear him speak as much.
Yeah, he doesn't really have to speak that much.
Yeah, because he had Harbaugh.
He had Harbaugh, and DeCosta's a good GM, and Newsom was a great GM for the Ravens. Like, there is the polar opposite between what the Ravens are and what, like, the Cowboys are, where the owner is always piping up.
Yeah. Get this guy out here more often. I like this guy. Can I give you I'm going to give you the breaking, not the breaking news. It's kind of breaking, but it's new news in college football first, and then we'll get to the Duffy's draft results. This from Charlotte, North Carolina, David Hill, writing for ESPN.com. FBS coaches voted unanimously Tuesday to adjust the redshirt rule to allow players to participate in up to 9 games while preserving a full year's eligibility in the sport. If that sounds like a bunch of jargon to you, here's pretty much what happened. Before 2017, if you played in any games, you lost a year of eligibility because, yeah, that makes sense. In 2017, they instilled a new rule where you can play up to 4 football games and you can still redshirt and maintain your year of eligibility. So your freshman year, if you only play 4 games, next year, guess what? You're a redshirt freshman. That's what that means. RS parentheses freshman. That means you have a whole new year. You can still play 4 more years of college football. If this new year then gets approved now by the NCAA committee, because the college football coaches voted unanimously in favor of this, still has to get approved. If this gets approved, you'll literally see freshman players like Malachi Toney play a full 9-game season, all the conference games, maybe not the non-conference ones. You play Bethune-Cookman, FAMU and stuff. You sit those out, play the playoffs, and then we could be talking about he'll be a redshirt freshman next year. So what does that mean? Does that mean he could probably win freshman of the year twice in a row in the ACC?
Yeah, and you can like sit guys, right? It doesn't have to be in a row. So
yeah, it doesn't have to be in a row.
You'd be like, all right, no non-conference games. Those don't matter for our playoff hopes. We're going to sit out of those. And who do you got on the schedule? I don't need to play against Cal this year.
Yeah,
and you guys are not going to need me against Boston College because that's going to save me some playoff games.
You could be like Narduzzi. Remember how Narduzzi was like, the Notre Dame game doesn't count, doesn't matter?
Right.
At Pitt, because that's not an ACC game. Late in the season, you could just sit the freshman, preserve another year of eligibility. How?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Stop it. Just stop it. I don't.
And that's all. I mean, if that works for the injury red shirt, too, it's even more grotesque.
Right, that's ridiculous. Like, I sprained my ankle late in the season. I get a whole new year. Please stop it. I know Trinidad Chambliss wants to stay in college and go back to Oxford and play at Ole Miss another year. I know there's a lot of players that love the NIL, love the freedom of college football, love the environments, want to keep playing, but we have to stop allowing guys to clog up the spots in college football. We have to move on. Move on with your life. Go get a mortgage. Go start your family. Go play in the big leagues. If you can't make it to the NFL, I'm sorry, but this game is no longer for you. I am all for players getting paid. This is clearly an NIL-induced rule because it's going to incentivize players to be able to not then transfer away from programs, play 6, 7, 8, 9 games, still have another year of eligibility, get paid for 5 full seasons. Like, it's probably a thing that coaches want because it will help with player retention. But I'm against this because it's going to hurt the high school seniors who want, they dream their whole life to get a scholarship to their favorite school. But you got no options because there's redshirt freshmen throughout the country who played 9 games and the playoffs. So like Jeremiah Smith with Ohio State could be a freshman this year if this rule was in place. Again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid. Just please no. Please no. Please no. C-Katt, Time for you know what? Let's save the MVP. Let's save the Duffy's MVP stuff.
Okay.
Let's do a little Culligan water cooler talk.
Does Jim in accounting watch one game a year and think he can be an NBA GM?
You don't trade a guy like Dame unless you actually know ball, which I do.
Is Mark in the mailroom talking your ear off about what's wrong with football today?
Give me that budget and I'll have this roster fixed by Friday. Guaranteed.
Does Ted in sales go on and on about how he would manage the bullpen?
Complete games used to mean something. I don't know what this is anymore.
Time to shoot the casuals down. This is Water Cooler Talk, presented by Culligan. Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com.
Catman, I was hanging out around the town at water coolers nearby and offices nearby, C-Katt, and I heard a lot of things and ideas and thoughts being shared.
Yeah.
You know,
it's that time of year where everyone's at home watching sports.
You know, Fred from the mailroom.
Yeah.
Right down here, right off Rosemary Ave. This guy's in downtown City Place talking this crap.
He kind of smells a little bit like croissants.
Yeah. And that's a delightful smell, but weird to feel, you know, weird to get the aroma off of another man. You know, You're like, why do you smell like croissants? You live at a bakery? I love croissants, but I don't love his take. Fred from the mailroom is telling people that there are 2 coordinator killers in the NFL. So what the hell is a coordinator killer?
Lock him up.
Right? I'm like, these guys this should be illegal. He said Jalen Hurts with the Philadelphia Eagles and Justin Herbert with the Los Angeles Chargers are coordinator killers. They are cancers to their locker room. They are the problem and not the OCs that try and come in and fix them. They need to be moved on from and not the coordinators year after year. I'm like, what the hell gives? Fred, and then Fred from the mailroom says this, and I say, oh, damn. You're telling me that Greg Roman, a man who Jim Harbaugh has never coached in the NFL without as a coordinator, he's now parting ways with? Oh, dear. You're telling me this is going to be Justin Herbert's 5th offensive coordinator and the dude has only played 6 seasons in the NFL? You might have a point, Fred. Hold on a second. Jalen Hurts, same thing. Is that Patullo fella out?
Yep. Kevin Patullo just confirmed, dismissed.
Kevin Patullo gone.
Offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
From the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody, you know, pointing fingers, blaming this guy. Well, I will say, Kellen Moore was a check mark. There was another man that was the OC for the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl run. You might have heard of him, Shane Steichen. 7, 8, 9 weeks into this season, he was the Coach of the Year leader for what he did with Daniel Jones. He was an OC for Jalen Hurts. They got some success out of him, but Brian and Kevin didn't. You're telling me that Justin Herbert, the talent that he is, you're telling me that Jalen Hurts, the special gifts that he has, though some of them might be limiting, some of them are the best at his position. You're telling me that these guys are coordinator killers, Jeff?
I think it was Fred.
I'm going to call him whatever the hell I want to call him because he's calling these guys out of their name. Those are franchise quarterbacks. You're calling them coordinator killers. So, Fred, you're Jeff to me. And Jeff, Fred, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, you're absolutely wrong, man. You got to dial this thing back.
Jalen Hurts might be a coordinator killer. Now he is. After Patullo was fired after one season with the Eagles.
How?
I'm looking at the air yards where Jalen Hurts does not throw the football north and south. It's only east to west where he uses his legs.
That's Josh Allen.
It's if you're winning games, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, he just won a Super Bowl last year, though.
Maybe. He's a system quarterback in the system being the offensive coordinator. A coordinator merchant rather than a coordinator killer.
Okay, I like that. I do think that there are some quarterbacks in this league, like Tua. Tua will be a coordinator merchant. He was able to thrive under Mike McDaniel in certain ways until the league figured that out. He could not do so under Brian Flores' watch with the Dolphins. With Justin Herbert, things get tricky because this will be his 5th offensive coordinator. Now, some of that has to do with the head coach, Brandon Staley, before Jim Harbaugh, having such a little of a grasp on what he was doing that he was doing that thing where you save your job by firing your coordinators.
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily
like something's got to change, and it's not me. It's not good enough.
from those guys.
Yeah.
So I can forgive a bit of that from Herbert. What I cannot forgive from Herbert is his playoff success. This is not his third playoff game. He's 0-3. Last year he threw how many? Was it 4 interceptions?
It was.
Against the Texans. The year before that, it was letting Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars come back on them from down 28 or so, which I can forgive a little bit because you put the points up in the first half, but you failed to be efficient at all in the second half. And then losing 16-3 to that New England Patriots defense is inexcusable. Herbert looked a bit flustered. He was not on time with his weapons. 3 points. I get it. Heads at the roll. Greg Roman probably decided to be booted out of there. But coordinator killers? So you're saying that there's more validity to Justin Herbert being saved from this than Jalen Hurts? You're saying Fred is right about Jalen Hurts but wrong about Justin Herbert?
I think the jury's still out.
Okay.
I think the jury's out on Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. I feel like we're going to see this career trajectory, and Jalen Hurts will never reach the heights that he was last year, which is a great career.
Yeah.
Was the Eagles or were the Eagles a Super Bowl champion because of Hurts at any level? No. I think they probably could have put 15 guys in that spot, and the result would have been the same.
I will say that was a little Culligan water cooler talk right there. And I will say for Jalen Hurts specifically, what I look for in quarterbacks these days is give me something that you're great at, something you're elite at, something that makes you a difference maker at that position. If you can't be top 3 to top 5 at 1 or 2 different traits, I can't work with you. Jalen Hurts does give you that. There are clear deficiencies with Jalen Hurts, but he also has clear strengths that makes him unique, that makes you be able to build an offense around him that can be a Super Bowl championship winning offense. Tua ain't got that. I don't know if Brock Purdy necessarily has that. I think Justin Herbert has it. I think the Eagles need a new head coach, though. I think it's not the coordinators.
Ooh.
I will say.
Well, I guess you could also do the same.
How coordinator dependent are you?
Yeah, and if you're going to have that same logic with quarterbacks, be elite at something, I think it kind of goes to the head coaches, right? I mean, Nick Sirianni's good at finding the camera on the sideline. That's what he's really good at.
I hate to sound like a Sirianni detractor or hater at times, but what are you bringing to the table? You're supposed to be at least good at hiring and firing coordinators, but it seems like when you've made your best coordinator hires is when the organization did it and not you. And, hey, that's not me talking. That's the people that write about it. C-Katt, City Play's about to get live.
Yeah, man, right? Like, you can throw a stone to where it's going to get insanely fun on Saturday.
College football fans here and round. Get ready. The ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling into City Place, West Palm Beach before it heads on down to Miami for the big one. Join us on Saturday night, January 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. 4 to 8 p.m. this Saturday night for live ESPN Radio shows. You can even try your shot at our Serve Pro Rapid Response Reflex game. You can play a little Robin Hood football toss and enter some awesome giveaways. Might even walk away with a free Monster Energy drink. Bring your friends, rep your school, and be part of the action. ESPN Radio is taking over City Place in downtown West Palm. So join us for some nonstop college football fun. The ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour, Saturday, January 17th, 4 to 8 at City Place in West Palm Beach. Don't miss it. Please don't miss it. We have a special announcement on Theoretically Speaking. We are going to deliver it on the other side, and it has to do with the Hall of Fame. That's C-Katt. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Thieves are stealing property every day throughout Florida, and it can happen to anyone. Hi, I'm Mike Caruso, your clerk of court of Palm Beach County, here to tell you about my office's free property fraud alert service. Just sign up at mypalmbeachclerk.com/propertyfraud, and you'll get an email anytime a document is recorded in your name, address, or property parcel number. Stop them and sign up for property fraud alert. It only takes a minute to register at mypalmbeachclerk.com/PFA.
Listen up, team. Recycling is just like football. You can't win if you're out of formation. Yellow bin? That's your quarterback. give it all the paper. Blue bin, wide receiver, feed it all the containers. But no interceptions. Plastic bags and greasy pizza boxes have no place on this field. Now, follow the playbook. Get out there and recycle right. Sponsored by the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. Let's keep winning for the planet!
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc. Experience the world's premier equestrian event right here in Wellington, Florida. The Winter Equestrian Festival brings together Olympic and world champion riders and horses from all around the globe for 13 weeks of elite international competition and unforgettable moments. Don't miss the iconic Saturday Night Lights, high-energy show jumping, incredible atmosphere, and excitement under the lights. Now through March at Wellington International. Visit wellingtoninternational.com for more information. Wellington International, where champions are made.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Step into pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. You know what they say. They want to welcome you to being treated like a pro. From weekend warriors to seasoned pros, they want to get that pain out of your system so you are able to excel and exceed at the many things you do, your hobbies, your activities, your sports that you love. Baptist Health wants to get you back onto the field, back into the playing environment in which you desire to be. And our all-pro team delivers the advanced care that you deserve. So get back to doing what you love most. Don't let any of that stuff hinder you from moving forward. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. baptisthealth.net/ortho. You see the logo all over. You see their integration into sports year-round in South Florida. Let them work in your life as well. Let them treat you like a pro. baptisthealth.net/ortho. One of the many things that Baptist Health is involved in, they are the presenting sponsor of the Palm Beach County Sports Commission Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame. This is a Hall of Fame awards that I have been emceeing over the past about 3 years. It also is a Hall of Fame that has been honoring champions since 1977 in the 5-6-1. And today we have the special honor ahead of the March 15th induction of announcing the names of the 2026 class of the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame Awards. C-Katt, are you ready?
Me and everyone here
Darn Skippy. You're darn Skippy, you're ready. This class is a special class. This class will join the likes of many of legends that have played, coached, lived, and excelled in the Palm Beaches since 1977. So a special shout out to these folks who will be honored again on March 15th for the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame Awards. And we're going to go in alphabetical order. Toby Harbeck. Larry Hoskin. George Lindley. Curtis Maggots. Murray Smith. Darren Studstill. And Jordan Travis. Names you may recognize, names you may have cheered for and loved, names that will all be inducted into the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame on March the 15th. C-Katt, excellent button pushing right there. I didn't know if you'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah, it's hard to replicate that type of award show of applause.
Yeah.
Like a graduation.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's one of the hardest things to do when you're emceeing any kind of event like that where you're listing off names. Because you also, the bigger the gap you give, the more awkward it is when one person doesn't get a loud enough applause.
Yeah.
So
how about Jordan Travis? Good for him, man.
Good for him.
You spoke to him about 4 weeks ago.
That's right. Ahead of the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Jordan Travis was honored. And we talked about not only his podcast, but also his life after football stuff. And here he is getting awarded yet again. Palm Beach County legend, Florida State legend. The guy deserves it.
Congrats to all of our inductees.
Big shout to all the inductees. Can't wait to hold some court on March 15th. It's been great being back. Russo and Rizzo is next right here on ESPN 106.3. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy. Go TGL.